In 2008, I asked my mom if I can go to GameStop. I wanted to get a game, just not sure which one I wanted. When I got there, I saw a cool looking lunchbox sitting on one of the higher up shelves, sticking out as a very unique item and the last of its kind in the whole store. I picked it up. It was wrapped in plastic and had promotional images from the game on it. One of them being a scary looking zombie in a dark building. 10-year-old me immediately turned to my mom and said, "This! Can I please get this? It looks so cool." Not knowing that this would be the moment that changed my life forever. When I got home, I opened the lunchbox. It had a bobblehead inside, which a friend of mine broke. He literally broke all of my toys when we were young. A concept art book, a making of the game disc, and the game itself. I put the game into my PlayStation 3 and immediately fell in love with what would be, to this day, my favorite video game of all time, Fallout 3. The vibe, atmosphere, aesthetic, story, setting, voice acting, everything, all the way down to the greenish-brown tint that the entire world has. It was the perfect blend that made me want to just live in the world I was playing in and never leave it. When I left the vault for the first time, made my way through Springvale, and then entered Megaton on my quest to find my missing dad, I ended up in a bar, or Moriarty's saloon to be exact. I saw a man complaining about a radio not working, banging on it and getting frustrated. As I approached him to ask if he had seen my missing father, I noticed something very off. His skin was all off. That's where I saw my very first ghoul. Well, like I said earlier, my first ghoul was on the back cover of the game, but while I was playing, this was it. A scary, rotten-looking human whose muscle tissue and veins can be seen openly throughout his whole body. Gob was such a disgusting-looking creature, but there was beauty in his ugliness. How, you may ask? Well, it's quite simple, really. Gob and all of the non-feral ghouls of Fallout 3 had a charm about them. They all look horrifying, so putrid to the point that they don't seem human anymore, even though they still are. They literally look like monsters out of a horror flick. Their description says it all. Ghouls. Once a term used to define a mythical creature, that of a demon-like being or a monstrous humanoid, often associated with graveyards and the consumption of human flesh, is now a term given to humans who have suffered a fate crueler than death itself, forced to live on for now over 200 years, flesh rotting away, voice fading from what it once was, slowly and slowly succumbing to the feral state of being that all of their kind eventually meets, some much sooner than others. Fallout 3 faces you with lots of moments to show your humanity towards these people. At first, it might seem easy. They're not human anymore. They're scary monsters that need to be eradicated. You could be mean to Gob. You're even faced with the task of wiping out a whole colony of them when you first come across the posh Tenpenny Tower. They are outcasts in a place they called home far before any of the residents that want them gone have been around. This is why I'm making this video. This is the whole reason I have an issue with the direction of Fallout since 2015. Although yes, changing the looks of ghouls as to not make them look scary doesn't nearly come close to all of the issues that the series has had over the recent years, it's definitely one that has taken away the feeling of reality. Immersion, in a sense. Let me explain. Not only did the Fallout 3 ghouls overall look better, but it made you, the player, feel genuinely conflicted when it came to them. They look horrifying. So, treat them like the monsters they are, or treat them with respect, like humans. With the changes made in Fallout 4, 76, and now the TV show, it nearly removes the sense of disgust and conflict in the player's actions, as their skin seems to not be falling off or rotten anymore, and their voices seem to be way more human compared to the earlier entries of the series. Fallout is a good mirror to early society in our real lives. The foundation of civilization, starting fresh, not knowing who or what to trust other than your own tribe of people, seeing a different looking version of your kind and then being given a hard choice of following those around you who treat this other group like garbage, or having humanity and knowing right from wrong, showing kindness and compassion to people that are targeted and hunted, treated like dirt and enslaved. The version of ghouls we see in Fallout 3 depict the struggle of a society of outcasts who are just trying to get by amazingly. Fallout 4, however, introduced people who simply look to have been burned really badly from the atomic blast, not people who appear to both visually and audibly have been rotting and decaying away for over 200 plus years. I'm gonna play some audio from both games and you tell me which version you prefer.
At first it was just a couple people after the war. This was one of the only places that wasn't falling down or on fire after the bombs fell. I think that Carol is actually one of the few that were here then. But over the years, word got around. There had been ghouls living in little pockets all around. Not really so much anymore. Most of them either went feral or ended up here. I'm sure there are still a few out there. But anyone with any sense is in Underworld.
What? No, it can't. It's you. From Sanctuary Hills, right?
Wait, are you from Vault-Tec?
I am Vault-Tec. 20 years of loyal service, and now look at me. I wasn't on the list. But you, look at you. 200 years, and you're still perfect. How? How's that possible?
The simplification of ghouls and the looks of many other creatures in Fallout, like the weird changes made to super mutants' appearances, are choices made by Bethesda seemingly to reach a broader audience as to not come off as appalling. But that's what we love about Fallout, the harshness of what the nuclear devastation has left behind. It's never been pretty, how could it be? In an interview with Seth Meyers, the actor for the ghoul, Walton Goggins, described his character as,
you know, well, we wanted him to be like attractive. We wanted the audience to kind of lean into his look and not be kind of repulsed by it.
This makes sense from a business perspective, where you want an audience of all ages and types to watch without feeling mortified by what they're seeing. But it definitely reinforces the fact that Fallout is getting softer. I think that pretty much sums it up there, folks. It may not seem like much to some, but this is the biggest disappointment that I have had with the Fallout franchise ever since Fallout 4 released all the way back in 2015. I know you have a lot of gripes with the series, but what is the #1 issue you have with the series? And thanks for watching.